bit of an explore by car today. My plan is to head up to Tobermory, or as my son messaged last night and said, are you going to Tobermory at any point? Because when I told him all about Mull, and he's like, what's there? So I said, well, remember the programme Tobermory? Well, that was filmed there in Tobermory. So he was like, oh right, okay, because obviously he used to watch it when he was younger. And then he said to me, so do the people live there then? Sorry Ellis, I know this is going to embarrass you, but he said, do the people live there? So I said, yeah, it's a town, so of course people live there. And he's like, oh, will they still be alive then? I'm like, what's he on about? I went, well, who'll still be alive? And he said, the people that they filmed for Tobermory. And I was like, you do know it was like a made-up programme, don't you? It wasn't like a reality TV show. And he said, so do they not live there then? I was like, no, they're actors and actresses. And he was like, oh right. And I went, and the houses aren't really painted the colours that they are in Tobermory either. I said, so like the castle's not pink, the big castle. I said, it's grey. And he seemed quite disappointed by that. So I'm off to Tobermory and I'm going to try and get him some pictures of Susie's shop and Archie's castle and everything else. If I see a policeman, I'll be able to say, look who I've spotted, Ellis. Anyone painting and decorating the house, oh, I'm going to be all over it with a picture. Honestly, so funny. But yeah, anyway, that's where I'm off to. I'm going to head straight up there. Another good thing about Mull is you actually don't need sat-nav, because for anybody who's not been, it's one road, one main, well, we say main road, main as in the road, all the way around Mull, and then obviously to the little tiny villages you get like another little road scooting off. But if you want to go anywhere of the main places, it's just one road, so you can't go wrong. Says me, who goes wrong everywhere. I don't know where I'll end up, but yeah. Tobermory, here I come, and then on the way back I'm gonna stop off at little points, Calgary Beach being one of them. I think I might stop back and have a dinner there. Got my bikini because I'm going to be out good full day. I've got Harold in the back so he can get out and see some new places too. So yeah, weather's looking good. Everybody shorts and t-shirt. What more could we want? Look at that. Because I was just eager to get to the site and get pitched up, didn't really take in the views, and plus it was raining. But now just driving, taking my time, honestly, every turn you make or every little hill you go over, there's just a more like amazing scenery. It's really something else. I knew it was going to be nice. I didn't think it was going to be quite this spectacular, I've got to admit, and I can't wait to get onto the other road going up to Calgary Bay, because apparently the scenery there is absolutely stunning. What I have noticed though is obviously you can see the single track roads. There's plenty of pull-in places and everybody does pull in. There's only been one person I've come across coming towards me and he was not pulling in for anyone. He made us all go onto the verge, and there was a pulling place he could have gone into. But obviously I have Molly in the car with me, and she seems to think that every time we indicate when we're in the car was like up and down, just pulling over, letting everybody pass me. Go on, out you go. Are they going to go past? No, they're using me. There's an elderly there's an elderly couple behind me, and they've been like tailgating me the whole way. Every time I pull over to try and let them get in front of me, now they're having none of it. They're using me. I'm like the buffering car in front. But yeah, it is funny. She didn't bark or whine then. She's probably getting used to it. Oh, we're not stopping. But just look at that. Look at that. There's less passing places too, I've noticed, and there's big drops sort of at the edge of the roads on this one, so it'll be interesting how many cars I pass and who goes where. You also don't really need your fifth gear on Mull, because you very rarely would get into it. Fourth gear, yeah, just about now and again if you get on a straight stretch, but it's definitely not the place to come if you like speeding round everywhere, which I don't anyway. But you can't be in a hurry on Mull. It's definitely not. So I've just seen a sign, and this is what's called a community forest. As you can see, there's a hell of a lot of trees have been felled, so all of that green, just all of here, you can see the remains of trees. Look how big it would have been, and then it's all on this side too. How peaceful. So that's my road. To the ground, and he's in a big 4x4. Would he pull over onto the verge a little bit? No chance. And I thought, well, I'm not going forward because I'm going to go down a big dip. So I just sat there for a little bit. Didn't even make eye contact with him, and he moved. So we're going to be sat here a long day because I'm not risking my car going into some ditch thing that I can't get it back out of. So you're gonna have to move, buddy. And he did. I ain't pulling over onto that side now, let me tell you. Don't go any more than a little ditch there. Good Lord, you're in the lock. This is a very interesting road. I wouldn't like to do it of an evening. I think this video is going to just be a lot of scenery from the road. It's just stunning. I could literally leave it running the whole time, but I think that would make very boring viewing. Yeah, easy. Someone's pulled over for me there. Very kind of them. Just pulled over for a little bit, and I did wonder why just up the road a bit there was a lot of cars pulled up and camper vans with nobody in them and nobody on the lock. But I'm guessing up here in the mist must be Ben Moor, which is apparently the highest mountain on Mull, and I think it's the only Munro as well. So I'm guessing everybody's up there. I was gonna do it one day, but if it's misty, I don't really see the point. That's not my excuse anyway. I'd rather be on the beach in the lock. Oh, it's still lovely, nice and quiet. So I stopped off because I've seen a little sign for the Macquarie Mausoleum, and reading the sign it was the Macquarie family, Lachlan Macquarie, I think that's how it's pronounced, and his family are all buried here, and he was something to do with over. I need to read the sign properly. Please take note, my videos, probably just take no notes of anything I say, because I do get a lot of facts wrong. If I'm really wrong, I will sort of put a little text highlight once I come to do my editing. But it did say it's only a 500-yard walk up here, so I thought if I drive past it and don't stop, I'll probably always wonder, oh, I wonder what that was. So we're going to have a little nosy, and plus it gives Molly a chance to stretch her legs and have a little wee. You walk through like somebody's garden, through a few gates, and carry on up the path. So that's where we're heading. Nice views there though. So living there with that lovely view. So here we are. So the father of Australia, he was known as. He was something to do with the military. Major General Lachlan Macquarie. And he was born 1971 and he died in London on the 1st of July 1824. And this is now owned by the Australian Heritage Fund or something. Let me see if I can find a plaque. Like I say, take little notice of what I tell you, but I'll try and give you some brief facts. Right, so who's buried here? Major General Macquarie, Elizabeth Henrietta Campbell, the daughter Jane, and the son Lachlan, who died at Craignish Castle. So this is the mausoleum. I know I read on the sign coming up, it's something to do with there's some connection with Australia. I'll try and find out if this sign says anything. So it's now owned by the National Trust of Scotland. I don't really know. I will go back and read the other sign. I would be useless as a tour guide, wouldn't I? I should get my facts right first. So, for those of you who are interested, those aren't, skip this bit. So, it is the resting places of Lachlan Macquarie and his wife and 2 children. So, he was born on Ulva and he went on to serve in the British military before becoming the governor of New South Wales, Australia. And he was responsible for the social, economic and architectural development of the colony and its transformation to a free settlement. And that and other achievements earned him the name of the Father of Australia, so there is an Australian connection. And the mausoleum is owned by the National Trust Australia, but it's managed by the National Trust for Scotland. So there we are. And I've just read all that off the board. Should have done that to start with, shouldn't I? But even if I had, I still wouldn't have remembered it, so I'd have still had to come back and read it to you. Lovely spot though. So I think next stop is going to be Calgary Bay. Oh no, it's not. There's a waterfall on the way, I think, next. So I'm gonna stop off there. I've decided to do it a little bit differently, and instead of going, let's put my seatbelt on. Instead of going all the way to Tobermory, I nearly said Balamory then. Instead of going all the way to Tobermory and then, oops, that's why bids fall off my car. Start again. Instead of going all the way to Tobermory and then coming back and stopping off at all these places, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop off at them on the way and then do Tobermory as my last stop and then go back on the more main road, if you like, because whilst this road has been lovely, I've done it. I don't really want to go back on it again going back, so that's my plan. Next stop, waterfall. Oh, first one I've seen. So I'll have to pull over. Oh look, is it Mull? I think there's 2 of them, the one's laid out. Hope I see some more. Gotta be my favourite animal ever. I think so far out of all the little roads, this leg from the mausoleum to Calgary has been the worst one. It's like there's very, very few passing places. It's such a bendy road. There's been a few incidents where we've all kind of been in a bit of a backlog, where I've let someone through and then suddenly 4 more have come after them and there's nowhere for anyone to go. Because my car has got the sports bumpers on, I'm really low to the ground, so there's just, if it's like a little bit of a dip, I know if I go down that dip I'm going to rip my front bumper off, which I know I'm not precious about my car, but I don't want to be driving around with no flipping front bumpers on. It seems to be easing off a little bit now. It's not so bad, but God, one bit of it, I'll warn anyone, if you do it sort of like on the not on the main road like Tobermory up to where the port is and everything. There is on the other side of the island there's a really little road which is lovely and scenic. However, some parts of it are quite should we say, you clench your jaw a lot. You're like, oh God, if anything is coming the other way now, it's like one of you is going to have to reverse down quite a steep, windy road. But anyway, it's looking a lot clearer now. So I think I'm nearly at Calgary Bay. I think I've missed the waterfall. I did pass a little, like, there was a car parked up and a woman taking a selfie, and there was a little tiny bit of a waterfall, and I'm thinking, surely that's not it. That's not sort of like photo worthy. And I remember sort of watching a programme and somebody else had visited the waterfall and they said it's not as spectacular as some photographs make it look. So now I'm beginning to think maybe that was it. So if it was, if I don't pass another one between now and Calgary, then that definitely was it. And I've seen it, didn't need to get out and take a photo. Let's see how I get on. This looks like it could be Calgary Bay. £3. Yeah, that's alright, I don't mind paying £3. Parking in this area, please make a donation here or at the kiosk. That's if there's anywhere to park. Oh yeah, I can whiz in here. Behind next to these ones here. Yeah, so this car, I don't really know if I should say this because I might jinx it. But last year, yes Molly, we're getting out now. Last year I was told that I needed a complete new engine rebuild because I had a problem with one of the valves. And I've got to say, I am about 6,000 miles into this said engine rebuild that was needed. And she's still going. Well, like I said, I'll probably jinx that now, haven't I? But it just shows you sometimes go with your gut instinct. Because it was driving absolutely, well, it wasn't driving fine, it was missing every now and again, which it still does, but it's going, that's the main thing. Anyway, I'm here. There's nowhere to get a coffee or anything, but I'm going to go and have a wander on the beach. Let this one out, and Harold probably. So this is it, Calgary Beach. So it's £3 in an honesty box to park your car, £10 for motorhomes, which I don't think is too bad. And there's like a little ice cream kiosk, but that's closed today. Probably because it's so quiet. I mean, look, there's what, half a dozen people? And it's a warm day today as well. Apparently it's a really good place for spotting otters. Do you know, I haven't seen any sort of like seals, or I've seen one sort of, no, 2 Highland cattle actually. Loads of sheep obviously, and goats, seen quite a few goats, but they've been sort of like on like small holdings. But nothing sort of like in the sea, no seals or anything. Otters would be good to see, but I don't suppose I'll see those either. Anyway, I'm gonna let Molly off. Seems that you can let dogs off here as well, so she can have a good run, and I'm gonna have my sandwiches here. And I think next stop will be Tobermory. I think she's glad to be out the car. What are you doing? She's not gone in yet. It's tiring because it's not, mileage wise it's not far, but because you're constantly having to concentrate, it is sort of like a little bit tiring. So I think I'm gonna have a couple of hours here, re-energise. It's quite busy actually, and it's free parking as well. Right, coffee I need. Tobermory. Or Balamory for Ellis. It is lovely. Yellow house up there. Now I'm going to be on a mission to go and find all the places in Balamory for Ellis. And Evie Rose, she was a big fan of Balamory too. So, you know when I was saying, I hope I see some Highland cattle. Look at this. Oh my word. Oh, just look at them all. Oh, Molly's gonna go berserk. Oh no, she's asleep. Look. Oh God, love them all. Look. Oh, I wish I could squeeze one of them little ones in the back of the car. Oh wow. Oh, good Lord. Oh. I'm having a little stop now. So the farmer is. Oh, I've got one looking at me now. Look. Look at them. So I've got the farmers in the front. So good, love that. And it was funny because I was driving back and I was sort of like, I was on a little bit of a, not a downer, but Tobermory wasn't what I expected it was going to be. I've said that a couple of times today, haven't I? Do you know what it is? I think it's when you Google places and do like your research on places, a few places that came up was the waterfall, which I think I did just drive past, to be honest. The other one was Calgary Beach, and it was lovely, but it wasn't anything out of this world. And then Tobermory, I thought was going to be a little bit. I'm not going to say a little bit bigger or anything, because I did expect it to be quite small. However, it was disappointing in that obviously I have a dog with me, and I know quite a lot of you will have dogs. It's not particularly dog friendly in terms of a lot of the gift shops. You can't take your dogs in. I did go and get a coffee from the chocolate place. They let dogs in, but I needed to, I mean, I know co-ops don't let dogs in anyway, but there was like a couple of little grocery stores that I couldn't go in, obviously, with Molly. So I thought I need to get some bread. So I found the little co-op. Obviously can't take Molly in there, but I met this group of people who, as we passed with the dogs were sniffing. They had like a cockapoo or something, and the lady said to me, oh, she said they're getting to say hello to each other, not just through the glass. And I was kind of like, oh, okay. And she said, we were on the same ferry as you coming across. And then I remembered, because me and Molly were stood outside, they were sat in the lounge area, and there was a big plate glass, and their dog was scratching at the glass to get to Molly, and then Molly obviously spotted it, so they'd recognised me and Molly. So got chatting to them. They're from Leeds. So we sort of said, you said our goodbyes, you know, have a lovely rest of your trip, this, that and the other. And then when I come to go into the co-op, I was like, there was nowhere to tie her up, and I don't like tying her up outside shops anyway. Luckily enough, I spotted them across the road, so I done, excuse me, could I just spare you for a couple of minutes, and explained, and they were like, of course. So they took Molly, and I did explain to them that she's a little bit clingy, so as I leave she probably will start whining, which she did. Gets into the co-op, done like supermarket sweep, grabbed my bread, grabbed my muesli, some kale for Harold, went to where the checkouts were. Oh, there must have been about 15 people in front of me, and I was like, oh my god, this is going to take forever. There were 2 people on the tills. So very cheekily worked my way down, saying, I'm so sorry, do you mind if I go in front of you? It's just somebody's got my dog outside and she's going to start fretting, and bless, they all let me go through. And in fact, one guy just went straight to the front for me, and he said, can this lady go in front of everybody because she's got her dog outside? So I've got my bread, Harold's got his kale, I've got my muesli, so I'm now heading back to the site. It's been quite dull and overcast actually this end of the island, so it would be nice if I get back and there's some sun. So see you the other end. Look at that, seeing loads now. That big field full of them there. Let's look. Baby. Gonna guess that was one walking off there. End of day 2 on Mull. It's been a long day driving, but I've seen all the island now by road. So now back at the site. It is quite windy, but just look at this sunset. Absolutely gorgeous.